Okay, so let me know if you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me okay? Can you hear me all right? Give me a 5 by 5 if you guys can hear me okay. Let me know if everybody's here. How are you guys doing? Can you guys hear me? Give me a 5 by 5. I'm not sure. StreamYard said I gotta fill up some. I gotta remove some space here. So maybe this is on. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Can anybody see what I'm saying? DLZ and Clips, can you drop a comment if you can hear what I'm saying? So StreamYard said it was not going to share the broadcast unless I freed up some space. Is that true? Can't really tell. I can see Les Paul. I can see Chuck. I can see Bruce. What's going on with the Playboys? What's going on out there? Okay, perfect. Thank you, Virginia. I appreciate that. So I saw this yesterday on. Yeah, the video's not moving yet. So let me get into this video a little bit and make sure that it is. Is the video moving now? Okay, video's moving now. Okay, so I was on Reddit last night and I saw this video go through by it was by the LAPD. They How is everybody today? Nice to see everybody. Thank you guys for coming. I do appreciate it. Let's watch a little bit of this because I have limited time today. I got to get the flock out of here. I got to keep going doing something I'm doing right now. But I saw this video, and you would figure that there would, what's really frustrating is that the cops, you know, I mean, look at this humanoid drone. She's not even real. Like, I don't think she's a real person. Like, she literally looks like a computer. I mean, the way she talks, I'll show you the whole video. She talks like a computer, but this copper, see that he's going to shoot his gun in this guy's house. And then the guy he says, "Why are you running?" And he says, "Because the way you cops behave." I mean, look at this guy, just such a douchebag. So now, when this copper lies on his report, and then the spokesperson here, the humanoid drone, when she lies, why aren't these guys fired? I just don't understand it. We can see on video that the spokesperson is lying and that this cop on the scene was lying. It's all a lie. Why? If I lied on video and I put that into a report, wouldn't I go to prison? Wouldn't I go to jail? Why are these pigs allowed to sit here and she's going to sit here and she's going to tell you lie after lie after lie? The video does not match what this lying drone computerized human's the wrong word. It's simply not true. She's lying to us as the spokesperson, and this pig lies in his report. This pig right here, he outright lies in his report. I don't understand why this pig and that woman can sit there and lie on their report and not be fired or charged with a crime. I mean, and these guys are using lethal force. They're running around acting like animals. Why are these guys getting away with this kind of behavior? I just don't understand. If you or I were caught lying on camera, this pig is going to lie, this pig is going to lie, this pig is going to lie. But I think the worst thing, the absolute worst thing, is that this pig right here sits up there and lies. It is unbelievable to listen to her. It is unbelievable. I just cannot understand how we pay people for protection and service, and they have become a completely rogue organization, unaccountable to the people, unaccountable to any person, unaccountable to any other organization or government entity. They police themselves. They decide their own punishments. The only time we can ever get them is if they absolutely murder somebody on camera, and then the Karen or Kevin judge will give these guys the lightest sentence ever. Isn't that woman who murdered the guy in Minnesota getting out of jail after doing 2 years? She shot him dead as rights. Here's the worst part. Take a look at this guy. He has completely surrendered. The guy has completely given up. He's done, dude. He does not want to have a shootout with cops. He doesn't have a weapon. And I think they were having a domestic. You guys be the judge. Let's watch this. Let's watch a couple minutes of this here, and then we'll come back and we'll get into it. He's given up.
Mr. Your hands. Get out. Get out. Step out. Step out. Step out. Face that way.
I'm sorry. Let me go back just a little bit. Okay. I want you to see how scared this copper is. Look at this copper. As the guy's getting put in torture cuffs, turning around, surrendering, he's hiding a little more. Got to hide a little bit more. So first of all, after the guy fires the gun, after the pig shoots the gun into a domicile, shoots into the domicile. Okay. This guy's coming out. He had his hands up to begin with. And this pig over here with his hand on his gun with 3 other cops in the hallway, watch him slowly retreat around the corner because he's scared. He's a scared little copper. Scared little copper. Wink, wink, little piggy.
I thought it was fucking doing something. No, hell no. What the fuck are you running for?
Okay, that's a lie. That's a lie. Did you hear what he just said? This is the reason I'm showing the video. Because why in the world? Yeah, I thought he was pointing something at me, dude. So it's one thing to lie in the moment. It's another thing to write down in the report the same lie, and then it's another thing for the spokesperson to perpetuate the same lie.
No, hell no. What the fuck are you running for? That's a fucking cop. I see how you fools act.
I see how you fools act.
The officers chased Cervantes, and as they approached the victim's open front door, they saw Cervantes standing just inside the doorway. One of the officers then illuminated the inside of the apartment with his flashlight and saw Cervantes taking what he believed was a shooting stance.
My God. How in the world can she keep her job? How in the world can she keep her job? How can she say that? How can he write that in a report? Look, both of his hands are above the top of his head. His hand is above his head. I imagine the other one is too. He doesn't want to get shot. Both of his hands are way up in the air. He's a Latino. Latinos are the most killed race by cops, and it's not even close.
Which resulted in an officer-involved shooting. Cervantes was not struck by gunfire and was taken into custody without incident. And ran back inside. The officers chased Cervantes, and as they approached the front door.
I'm sorry. You got to see this. You got to see this. As this Mr. Look at that, dude. Look at this Mr. Magoo pig. Look at him. Look at him. He's running up there. He's so scared. He's so scared. No, okay, when you pull a gun, you don't put your finger on the trigger. Your finger doesn't go trigger when you pull out a hand. Doesn't do it. I've shot my whole life. The reason why when you pull your gun out, the reason your finger does, see that? The finger is supposed to be elongated past the receiver where the trigger is. See that? Finger's in the right position there. As soon as he raises it up, when he puts the finger on the gun, what does it do? See there? Did you see the change right there? Did you see that? Finger goes from straight to on the gun. Did you see that? And what's going to happen from him putting his finger on the gun and then jerking his hand? Look, watch his face when the gun fires. Watch how shocked he is that the gun is. There's the bullet right there. He's not ready at all. Boom. Gun almost hits him in the face. He wasn't ready at all. He wasn't ready at all. Look at it. Oh, shit. This is a gun? Look at him. He's so scared. Copper's scared of his own gun. He's just terrified. Did you see that, guys? I had my gun out. I'm scared. I'm scared. Let me go back just a scooch. You can really see the absolute moronic moron this guy is.
Ran back inside. The officers chased Cervantes, and as they approached the door, they saw Cervantes standing.
I'm sorry. Look how scared they. What the? Now listen. What Breonna Taylor murderers were killed for? What is it? Wanton waste? Is that what they were killed for? For shooting a gun into a home, right? That's what they were actually charged with. Not murdering Breonna Taylor, actually shooting the gun in the house. Watch this copper. Look at that. He doesn't even know what the hell's going on. He's more scared of his gun than. I mean, look at this pig. Look at this pig. Boom. He could have killed somebody. This pig is still a pig. And then they lie about it. Okay, so put a 1 in the chat if you guys agree that it's plain as day the pig did not mean to fire his gun. I just need to know if other people put a 1 in the chat if this pig did not mean for that gun to be fired. And then, yeah, I thought he was pointing something at me, dude. No, you didn't, bro. No, you didn't, bro. You're sitting there a lying little piggy, bro.
Point something at me, dude. Mr. Hands.
Oh, that's a great depiction there. I didn't even realize it was quite so good. Look at him. Both of his hands are way above his head. But here's a really good depiction. Depiction. So, okay, so right there they said that he took a shooting stance, but they show the exact moment that the guy is surrendering and the exact moment. So why his hands are up and he's looking out the door to surrender. The light is on his white t-shirt. The pig fires the gun. Unbelievable.
Mr. Hands.
He doesn't have a weapon, I promise.
And ran back inside the victim's apartment.
I am not a humanoid.
The officers chased Cervantes, and as they approached the victim's open front door, they saw
The victim's open front door who said, he doesn't have a gun, I promise. She sounds like such a victim to me. You're telling me the system is not manipulated? All you have to do is call 911 and you win the argument. It's happened to me dozens of times. They can't beat me arguing with me. They can't beat me physically. So they call the cops on me and say, I'm scared of him. Equals a restraining order for no reason because they can't beat you in an argument. And so they call 911 on you. The victim, she said the victim, the cop shot into the victim's front door, but she was just saying, I promise he doesn't have a gun. And then the guy, if she's a victim, I mean, shouldn't she be screaming and crying? She's not, though. You could just call 911 and you win the argument. No person would ever call 911 on someone else just to win an argument, would they?
I promise.
and ran back inside the victim's apartment.
The victim.
The officers chased Cervantes, and as they approached the victim's open front door,
The victim.
they saw Cervantes standing just inside the doorway. One of the officers then illuminated the inside of the apartment with his flashlight and saw Cervantes taking what he believed was a shooting stance.
That's a lie. That is such a lie. It's unbelievable. They're lying. It's horrible.
Which resulted in an officer-involved shooting.
Which resulted in the pig being out of control and he couldn't even control his firearm. And now this chick is sitting here lying to us. The cop said he was taking a firing stance. Why doesn't she say a cop misfired his gun today? We made a mistake. The cop's been suspended for a month, has to go through firearms training. That's would change things a little bit.
Cervantes was not struck by gunfire and was taken into custody without incident.
Mr. Hands.
He doesn't have a weapon, I promise.
Get out. Get out. Step out. Step out. Step out. Face that way.
Wouldn't that have been ironic if the cop had killed the?
Fucking pointing something at me, dude. No, hell no. I wouldn't.
Now he says, "I thought you were effing pointing something at me, dude." Wouldn't it have been ironic if the cop had killed the so-called victim who called 911 on her boyfriend? I mean, this idea, I mean, it's just disgusting. It's disgusting. We've created it so that if you call 911, someone's got to go to jail. And guess who it is 99% of the time? It's the guy. So if you disagree with your girlfriend and you're going to have a back and forth with her and she can't beat you in the argument, she can call the cops on you. Facts. People wonder why I'm single. I'm single because I don't want to be in a situation like this. And it happens every day in America. It's constant. It's constant. The system is abused. And I don't want to be have the cops called on me because I don't back down from an argument.
What the fuck are you running for? That's a fucking cop. Because you fools, I see how you fools act.
I see how you fools act.
The officers chased Cervantes, and as they approached the victim's open front door, they saw Cervantes standing just inside the doorway. One of the officers then illuminated the inside of the apartment with his flashlight and saw Cervantes taking what he believed was a shooting stance. Which resulted in an officer-involved shooting. Cervantes was not struck by gunfire and was taken into custody without incident. And ran back inside. The officers chased Cervantes, and as they approached the front door, they saw Cervantes standing just inside.
I thought it was fucking pointing something at me, dude.
What was he pointing?
Where's your hands?
He doesn't have a weapon, I promise.
And ran back inside the victim's apartment. The officers chased Cervantes, and as they approached the victim's open front door, they saw Cervantes standing just inside the doorway. One of the officers then illuminated the inside of the apartment with his flashlight and saw Cervantes taking what he believed was a shooting stance.
Oh, God. That's so rich. That is so rich.
Which resulted in an officer-involved shooting.
That is so rich.
Cervantes was not struck by gunfire and was taken into custody without incident.
So I want to show you guys something. So you guys got the gist of that, right? Let me show you something else here real quick, because this is just incredible, to be honest with you. It's just so incredible what we're seeing constantly across the internet. And so this is Reddit. I like Reddit a lot. I spend some time on Reddit. And so if you go up here and you go to public freakout, what's crazy about public freakout, when you go down it, a lot of these are cops. A lot of these are cop videos. A lot of the videos on Reddit that are in the popular category are cop videos. Woman attempts to stop man from drunk driving. Stanley watches. Oh, you guys see Joe Biden fall on his face yesterday? I mean, come on, man. I'm sorry, dude. You can't even walk. I'm sorry, dude. Sorry to see that. That's awesome. Oh, I saw that one. But probably my favorite subreddit on here is Bad Cop No Donut. Bad Cop No Donut. Bad Cop No Donut. So on this one, don't advocate for violence. Don't celebrate violence. Don't plan violence here. So people are so sick of the pigs in our country that they watch the videos and they start saying they want to do this and they want to do that. You guys have heard me do it. Florida cop fired, arrested for helping childhood friend evade arrest over sex with a minor. So the cop got fired. He was helping his evade arrest by sleeping with a kid. These are good people, though. Remember that. New Mexico woman calls her dad from jail claiming cop raped her. The now former cop is facing a federal lawsuit on top of rape charges. New study shows police escalate traffic stops regardless of how cooperative the driver is. Whoa. I mean, what are we talking about here? Let's take a look-see. Let's take a look-see. Let's just scan this real quick just so we can and we'll come back to this page. We'll come right back here, but that's why I don't have to change screens. For black drivers, well, you know, as you guys know, I teach the history of institutional racism, but it's not just black drivers anymore. Black drivers are targeted probably a little more than whites because it's that the policing system was created for blacks. But words are a portent of what's to come. A portent, huh? When police officers stop a black driver, the first 45 words said by that officer hold important clues about how the encounter is likely to go. Cop stops that result in a search, handcuffing, or arrest are nearly 3 times more likely to begin with the officer issuing a command such as keep your hands on the wheel or turn the car off. This is why I don't follow any of their commands. They're not my daddy. That's according to a new study in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Science that examined police body camera footage from around 577 routine car stops involving black drivers. Well, just for my poor white people out there, the laws created for blacks are being used on you too. I'm just letting you know. I got black friends that I'm really close with that they know. I teach them that laws were created for blacks and now they're being applied to all of us. Okay, good. 81 of these stops ultimately involved searches, handcuffing, or arrests. That count of outcome was less likely when a police officer's first words provided a reason for the stop. The first 45 words, which is less than 30 seconds on average, spoken by a pig during a car stop to a black driver can be quite telling about how it will end. After the recent, this is okay, so let me just debunk this before I've even read it, but I'll read it and then I'll debunk it. Amid the recent high-profile killings of Tyree Nichols and black motorists after traffic, full stop, come to a full stop. Tyree Nichols was murdered, premeditatedly murdered. It wasn't a random traffic stop. It wasn't the first 45 words. Tyree Nichols was targeted by the pig who he was dating, the pig's ex-wife, and they murdered him because he was dating the pig's ex-wife. So this doesn't belong here. The findings offer a grim sketch of how stops can escalate and how black men can recognize the warning signs. Well, it's just for all of us can recognize the warning signs. You guys know that I'm the first one to call out racism, but they're using it on all of us. It's being used against all of us. Cops lies under oath during internal affairs complaint. Isn't that what we just talked about? Wasn't the whole video I just did about the cop lying, the spokesperson lying? Indiana, Hammond former officer to pay more than $410,000 in fees costs after Gary man wins wrongful conviction case. Atlanta police arrest 3 organizers behind bail fund supporting protests against Cop City. We have got to stop Cop City. It has got to be stopped. Former Hartford police chief accused of taking pills from drug disposal box, dealing stolen narcotic. This is, I mean, and by the way, guys, these are all posts from the past hour. This was posted an hour ago. So everything I showed you so far is just in 1 hour. 1 hour, all this. But this guy would never cheat you when he pulls you over. This guy would never cheat you when he pulls you over, would he? He's a drug addict, so of course he would. You ever done drugs before? You become a real asshole. You just want more drugs. Geography professor map shows Atlanta police training facility. Supporters don't live nearby. Yolanda Irving was in her Raleigh home when she says a SWAT team burst into her home with rifles drawn. Raid on her home was part of a no-knock search warrant intended for another person at another address. I mean, it's constant. It's constant. It never ends. Florida deputies sent text to wife threatening to kill her, including one that had a video attached showing a man stabbing 2 people to death who were having sex. Oh, God. KPD sergeant email prompts an investigation. She would never lie, cheat, steal, rape, kill. She would never. She's a pig. She's a good one. She's a good person because she's a pig. She's wearing the badge. I mean, don't you have respect for the badge? Put a 1 in the chat if you got a whole bunch of respect for the badge. Put a 2 in the chat if that's a pig right there. Just go ahead, let me know. Put a 1 in the chat if you celebrate pigs. Put a 2 in the chat if you think she's a disgusting pig. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. Sorry, the gloves are off. This is all in the last 24 hours. Oh, I watched this already. I already watched this. I watched this yesterday. So who's attracted to policing jobs? You know what? I'll watch it again with you guys. I already saw this. They had the first word right, devil. And then they should have stopped right there.
One of the areas that abuse of power has shown up a lot in the news recently is with police abuse. One of the things that's been discussed around police reform is how we can make this stop, how we can end up fixing policing. A lot of the discussion is on a part of the problem that absolutely warrants attention, but is only part of the problem, and that's what the police do. So this involves solutions like putting body cameras on police officers, oversight, scrutiny, basically.
That would be great if we actually got access to the body cam footage.
Fixing policing. A lot of the discussion is on a part of the problem that absolutely warrants attention, but is only part of the problem, and that's what the police do. So this involves solutions like putting body cameras on.
We don't get the body cam footage. They hide it for years sometimes. We don't get that body cam footage.
Police officers, oversight.
The politicians, Republicans and Democrats, that a few of you are so indentured with a Democrat or Republican party, your representatives vote to give the body cam footage, the access to it, to the pigs, who are an autonomous organization that make their own decisions.
Scrutiny, basically, trying to make it so that there's deterrence to stop police officers abusing their position. What we don't think about often is not what the police do, but who the police are. On one end of the spectrum, people say that this is anti-police because the data show that some certain types of people are more attracted to policing who frankly shouldn't be in a uniform, and therefore I'm trying to paint the police as some group of bad people, which is not what I'm saying. On the other end of the spectrum, politically.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying police are bad people, that they're evil. This person's evil, this person's evil, this person's evil, and this person is an evil devil. That's what I'm saying.
People are saying this is naive. Policing is fundamentally going to have these problems because the institution of policing was set up to abuse people.
You got to go to 1704, bud, South Carolina slave catchers.
The way I came to this problem,
he didn't even get the data right.
Set up.
The railroad strike of 1877. If you don't know about it, I can teach it.
To abuse people.
The Fugitive Slave Act, 1893. But there's several Fugitive Slave Acts. There's not just the 1793 Fugitive Slave Act. There's a bunch of them. The way I missed 1704 is when police are created to be slave catchers.
I came to this problem was to look at how recruitment of police officers determines who ends up in the uniform. And I was scouring across the United States and looking at various police departments. And one that stood out to me is this small suburb of Atlanta called Doraville, Georgia. Now, when you used to click on Doraville's website for the police department, you were greeted with this video that is quite frankly insane. The first thing you see is a literal tank with the SWAT team inside of it screaming across the frame. They're in military uniforms, they're carrying assault weapons, and they toss smoke grenades out of the vehicle. They shoot their weapons, and the whole thing is set to the soundtrack of death metal music. The people who look at that video and think, wow, that looks cool. I'd love to drive around Walmart in a tank with a smoke grenade and a huge weapon. They sign up. Now, New Zealand thought about it carefully. So I spoke to people in my research who had designed a system of recruitment that they called, Do You Care Enough to Be a Cop? Basically what they start with is this very funny video in which police officers are chasing an unseen suspect, but stopping to help people cross the street, dancing with someone with a boombox for a bit, telling jokes that are quite funny.
You kind of just ruined my flow now. There was supposed to be a big build-up, and now we have to go over this whole section again.
Who's we?
And then at the end of the video, they finally catch the perpetrator, which turns out to be a border collie who's stolen a woman's purse. And Do You Care Enough to Be a Cop flashes on the screen. And what happened in New Zealand was that the number of recruits shot through the roof. Their applicant pool expanded dramatically. People who didn't previously see themselves as police officers started to think, I could do that job because I care about the community. The juxtaposition with the Punisher logo and the tank compared to the Border Collie and the Do You Care Enough to Be a Cop logo is so extreme that it's almost amusing. It's two parallel worlds of policing that are drastically different. It's not that we can ignore what the police do. We absolutely have to have oversight and very close scrutiny of police officers who abuse their authority. But at the same time, we have to think more carefully about who ends up in the uniform to begin with. This shows up in the data when you.
So this is a nice article and all that, but the truth is that once they sign up to be a pig, they then are indoctrinated into a series of policies and fraternities that they cannot get out of. And if they try to get out of it, they not only could lose their job, they could lose their life. You have to toe the thin blue line or face death. So you get them to sign up under the guise of, hey, do I care enough? And then they get in, and you better care enough to protect the other pigs.
See that the rates of domestic abuse among police officers in the United States is higher than the general average in the public. So, when you think about why that's happening,
it's 10 times higher. I'm not sure if you guys saw the statistic. The general population data, 4% of people. Cops, 40%.
Than the general average in the public. So, when you think about why that's happening, perhaps it's that the job is making them a bit more on edge or causing them to behave in ways. I think what's more likely is that people who are abusive are disproportionately likely to seek a job in which you can abuse people.
Okay, so how do we know this is true? From the Stanford experiment. I've told you guys about the Stanford experiment 50 times. The Stanford experiment showed that the people who signed up to be security for the Stanford experiment were authoritarian and violent. And that's why they took the job. Just like this pig right here.
So that means you have ever more important scrutiny and ever more important screening.
I mean, look at this guy. Does he look like he signed up to help people? Do you think this guy's help? Do you look at him and say, oh, I think he's help? Put a 1 in the chat if he looks like a tyrannical pig. Does he look like he's there to help you? He looks like he's dressed up like G.I. Joe Loser.
Who becomes a cop in the first place? That aspect of recruitment is often not part of the discussion. So I think we absolutely have to think about what the police do, but we also have to devote just as much attention to who the police are. Now, I'm not naive enough to think that my proposals mean that we will never have police abuse, we'll never have police violence. These are deeply ingrained problems. I do think that we are not picking the low-hanging fruit of how we address some of these problems. And that means that we have to think more carefully about how we can make marginal improvements that add up. You have to make police behave better so that people want to be officers, and you have to present.
Hey, Brian, I appreciate the report, but you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You need a third-party organization that's in charge of the body cam footage, the dash cam footage, and punishments for police. You need a third-party insurance for cops. Your ideas are wrong, Brian. I'm sorry. You're wrong. I hate to say it. You're wrong. Oh, this guy. 2 cops with over 50 years of experience. Oh, you guys didn't.
What lawful basis?
You didn't get to see so this female cop, I put her in a short yesterday, but the female cop, she is,
detain somebody. What do you have to have legally? Do you know?
I do not know the law legally.
Okay.
Did you just say that? Oh, God. You got to be kidding me.
In order to detain somebody, what do you have to have legally? Do you know?
I do not know the law legally.
Okay. Doesn't there have to be reasonable suspicion that the person committed a criminal offense or violated a law?
Because I don't know the law exactly.
You don't know when an officer is allowed to detain somebody?
I've got one that can see.
Oh, this is Joe Cool? What's up, Joe Cool?
Please turn off all cell phones or place them away from the microphones as they can interfere with the deposition audio.
You guys are lucky today. You're going to love this shit. 2 sheriffs arrested Pink Camera Magic years ago, and she just released the 2 depositions, and they're going to blow your mind in this vid.
Hey, y'all, I got some depositions coming out by the end of this year that are going to blow your mind.
You're going to see 2 cops show astounding ignorance of the law. These two cops alone represent nearly 50 years of law enforcement training and tax dollars. So let's see what we get for our money.
Is it against the law to take pictures of a courthouse from outside?
No, not that I know.
Okay. Is it lawful to arrest somebody for taking pictures outside of a courthouse, of the courthouse?
No, not that I know.
Okay. Is there something
Lisa, could you voice it, please?
Okay, sorry.
So I gotta get every word because it's on video.
Okay.
Are you familiar with this case at all?
Which case?
The case that brings us here today, that you're testifying in?
Yes.
Okay, and in a nutshell, what's the case about?
I would say that Amanda is, I guess I called you to say that she was outside videoing when she shouldn't have been.
Oh, there's the original video. I've never seen it.
So she's saying we violated her amendment rights.
You're correct.
I mean, did you see that thing just grab her?
Outside
See that?
videoing
Oh my
when
God.
she shouldn't have been.
Watch him just grab her.
Outside videoing when she shouldn't have been.
She was outside videoing when she shouldn't have been.
Outside videoing when she shouldn't have been.
Wow.
So she's saying we violated her amendment rights.
You're correct.
Her amendment rights?
When you say when she shouldn't have been, what does that mean? Was she doing something wrong?
Violated her amendment rights.
Just something unusual, what us as officers would consider unusual.
Unusual, okay. Depending on where you are in the country, Mormons are unusual, right? Depending on where you are, it might be unusual to see a Mormon. Do you get to detain Mormons in those places?
I don't know. People detain Mormons. I don't know if they detain Mormons.
Would it be lawful? Just because it's unusual?
No, I don't.
Okay. Is there something unlawful about recording outside of a building?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Let me ask you this. Was Miss doing anything illegal when she was detained?
No, I would say it was not illegal, unusual.
Okay. In order to detain somebody,
all they have to say is they were suspicious of you, and for their safety, they're going to torture you. That's. I mean, we're seeing it now that the cameras are everywhere and the depositions are being shown. She believes that they get to detain you if they're suspicious of you, and they say they're scared. No reasonable suspicion of a crime. They're going to detain you because they're suspicious, which is torture.
what do you have to have legally? Do you know?
I do not know the law legally.
Okay. What would you do if one of those people said to you, what's the difference between arrest and detain? What would your answer be?
We'd call legal.
Mr. Gorman, seated to your left?
No. Sheriff has their own legal.
Oh, okay. Their own legal who helps them understand things like the difference between arrest and detain?
Yes.
Gotcha. Was there a lawful basis to handcuff her?
Yes.
Okay, and what was that lawful basis?
Officer safety.
Oh my God.
So far, we got 2 Cook County sheriffs, and one's been a lieutenant for 22 years. And between them, they got to call a lawyer to know the difference between detainment and arrest. Let that sink in. If they don't know basic laws, then what are they being rewarded for? They don't give a fuck about the law. Their proclivity is to follow orders. Identify pink at all costs. Hell, it helps if you're willing to disregard the law.
Did you have any reasonable suspicion that she was committing a crime?
We had reasonable suspicion to ask her what she was doing and why she was doing it, just to get who she was and why.
You and I agree on that you had the right to ask her whatever you wanted to ask her. Did you have the right to put her in handcuffs?
Officer safety.
For the security of the officer, yes.
Okay.
You see the problem with Terry versus Ohio? Everything I've been saying for the past couple years is now all coming out. I'm explaining to you guys the way that this pig right here, detainment, is created in 1968. It's not a part of the Constitution. They created it, and they did it in the guise of how the cop feels. Feelings. How I feel about this. Listen to what she says.
She was doing why she was doing it, just to get who she was and why.
And since
you and I agree on that.
When do you have to identify who you are and what you're doing to the government? since 1968, since Terry versus Ohio.
That you had the right to ask her whatever you wanted to ask her. Did you have the right to put her in handcuffs?
Officer safety.
For the security of the officers, yes.
So do you see that? That's the actual holding is that cops can detain you for officer safety, that cops can detain you. And now police have created around detainment that they get to put you in torture cuffs. Why? Because of Terry versus Ohio.
Okay. What made her a threat?
The cops
Her
are scared.
refusing to give any information that was requested of her.
Was she legally obligated to give that information?
When an officer has asked her for security purposes to give her identity up, yes.
Her refusal to ID is now being interpreted as a threat. And if you're a threat for my safety, I can now handcuff and ID you.
Yes, we do have the right to ask for an identity of somebody for our safety.
20 years of training has taught her that she is not safe unless she can run your name. And they both think it, and they're not exceptional.
Have you ever heard of something called a Terry search or a Terry frisk?
I have.
What is that?
I'm not going to say exactly. I don't know the law.
Okay. Well, let me just ask you this. A police officer is allowed to go over to anybody they want, demand to see ID, and if they refuse, they get to arrest them? Is that your testimony? Or detain them?
Yes.
Can you say it one more time? I'm sorry.
Sure. Police officer goes over to somebody on the street. Let's call the person Mr. Plaintiff.
Okay.
Police officer goes to Mr. Plaintiff and says, hey, let me see your ID. And Mr. Plaintiff says, no. Is the officer now allowed to put Mr. Plaintiff in handcuffs and detain him?
I object. It's a hypothetical. It calls for speculation.
Yeah.
You can answer.
Okay. I do believe, yes, for officer safety, they do have the right.
Really?
Doesn't there have to be reasonable suspicion that the person committed a criminal offense or violated a law?
Because I don't know the law exactly.
At least this chick is giving honest answers, saying she don't know. But this cat is desperately pretending he doesn't even understand the questions.
Okay. If you could go back in time to the day that you arrested her, would you still arrest her?
So you're asking me if I can go back in time?
Yeah.
I don't know how I could do that.
Okay. Did you understand my question?
I did, and you're asking me to suppose whether or not I can go back in time. I can't.
So you can't tell me if you would.
Now he's sharp. Now he's going to be some sort of sharp tool in the shed. Well, I can't go back in time. That's a hypothetical.
Still arrest her.
I can't tell you what would happen on that day if I went back in time, no.
Okay. Are you, is this an attempt to be funny?
Not a bit.
Are you trying to answer my questions?
I'm trying to answer your question.
You really can't figure this out because you can't wrap your head around time travel.
That's what you're saying? Object. Again, I mean, I'm going to object. It's getting to be harassing again. I mean, is this what the question is? Hypothetical time travel backwards?
Is that really how you interpreted the question? Also?
Is that what you're asking? If he could go back in time, would he do it differently? Is that not what you're asking?
Yeah, that is what I asked him.
Okay. Well,
I don't think that asks him to do time travel. Was there any reasonable suspicion that she was committing a crime, yes or no?
No.
We weren't sure what she was doing.
Okay, so if you don't know what somebody's doing, do you have reasonable suspicion that they're doing anything in particular?
No, but we have a reasonable response to ask what she was doing.
Right. Agreed. You could ask her what she's doing. And when she refuses to answer, are you now allowed to detain her?
Sure.
Yes.
Who told you this? That you get to detain people who are videoing and refuse to identify themselves when asked. Are you familiar with the Fourth Amendment, by the way?
Vaguely.
What does it say in your own big terms?
No illegal search and seizure.
Right. Unless there's
probable cause.
Or
that's about all I know.
Okay, all right, good enough. You said that's about all I know. All right.
All I know.
Now, there was somebody else who asked you the same question that I just asked you about your familiarity with the Fourth Amendment, who's in this room right now. Do you know who that person was? My client asked you that, didn't she?
I don't recall.
She asked you, are you familiar with the Fourth Amendment? You don't remember that?
No.
I talked to a lawyer.
Okay, call your lawyer.
That includes my camera as far as consent.
Well, it's already on.
Are you familiar with the Fourth Amendment?
Oh, great. Why do we always get the crazy?
I don't know.
If I tell you that your answer was, oh, great, why do we always get the crazies? Would you dispute that?
This pig whispered to the other pig that we saw, the two dumbest pigs in America, and said, why do we always get the crazy? And the girl who just said she didn't know the law said, I don't know why we always get the crazies.
Oh, great. Why do we always get the crazy?
I don't know.
If I tell you that your answer was, oh, great, why do we always get the crazies? Would you dispute that?
No.
Does it sound like something you would say to somebody?
That sounds nice. Say that, yes.
So you remember saying that?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember saying that in response to the question, are you familiar with the Fourth Amendment?
No, I just remember saying it.
Why is it that you felt she was one of the crazies?
This part is great. The shit you hear Sheet parrot, just comply, don't poke the bear shit. This is where they get it from. He can't fathom that her will to stand on her rights outweighs her desire for self-preservation. Check this out.
When people act in a way that is not in their best interest.
How is she acting that was not in her best interest?
Well, at any time, all she had to do is identify herself. We could have done our report. You have an option. All you have to do is show us an ID so that we could do a report, and we'll let you go on your way. And everything could have gone the own.
And if somebody were to threaten you that unless you comply with their demands, they're going to put you in handcuffs, would you automatically necessarily comply with their demands?
Yes.
No, object.
You would.
Calls for speculation.
He was able to answer.
Said, yeah.
So you would. So even if there's somebody who is acting as a law enforcement officer, giving you an unlawful order, threatening you with detainment or arrest or 90 days jail, if you don't comply with their unlawful demands, you would still comply?
Yes.
Alrighty. Is that what you expected her to do, to comply?
Yes.
Is there a law that requires people to identify themselves when requested by law enforcement?
I don't know.
30 years of training.
Did you delete her pictures?
Yes.
No.
Who did?
Don't know.
You don't know who deleted her pictures?
He did.
No.
By the time you got in front of Judge Peter Felice, they were deleted, weren't they?
As far as I know, they were still on there.
You grabbed her camera away from her outside. Did you not?
Yes.
From that point until you were in front of Judge Peter Felice, did she ever hold her camera again?
No.
Okay, so you had it the entire time.
Yes.
Didn't Judge Peter Felice talk to you about whether the pictures had been deleted?
He asked for the memory thing so he could delete them.
Whoa, I'm guessing the judge is going to want to dispute that.
Whoa,
This
did
is
you hear what he
getting
just
good.
Okay, you just said,
He asked for the memory thing so he could delete them.
Whoa, I'm guessing the judge is going to want to dispute
Oh,
that.
shit.
This is getting good.
okay, you just said that he asked you for the memory card because he wanted to delete the pictures. Is that your testimony?
Yes.
Okay, and if he were to testify at some point in time that he absolutely, categorically did not delete those pictures, then would you want to change your answer as to whether you or one of your people did?
I'm going to object. Calls for speculation.
No one had custody of the camera but me.
Would it have been lawful for you to delete her pictures?
I don't know.
What do you think? Are you allowed to go over to people's pictures and delete them?
No.
Without a court order?
No.
All right. That would be a violation of which amendment? Do you know?
Fourth.
No.
In fact, you said to her that they take it not so lightly. It can either be an incident report or you can go to bond court. Remember saying that?
No. They take it not so lightly. It can either be an incident report or you're going to go to bond court.
What do you do if somebody says they want to talk to a lawyer and you have them in handcuffs?
We allow them to call a lawyer.
Do you keep asking them questions?
Depends on the case.
Oh, I got you. Okay. Tell me the case in which you would continue to ask questions of somebody in custody after they ask for a lawyer.
If we're doing an investigation, we're going to ask.
I got you. Okay. Do you know which amendment it is that allows people to demand a lawyer? Do you have any idea?
It's 6.
No.
Have you ever read anybody the Miranda rights?
No.
You've never read anybody their Miranda rights?
No.
Have you ever arrested anybody?
No.
Other than Ms. Berquist?
No.
And you don't know the Miranda rights?
Not offhand, no.
All right. When you arrest somebody, do you have to advise them that they have the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Do you have to advise them that they have the right to an attorney?
Yes.
Do you have to advise them that if they cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided to them?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what if somebody says, yes, I want to talk to an attorney? Do you get to keep asking them questions? Or do you have to call a lawyer for them before you want to ask any more questions?
I don't know.
You don't know?
God.
You don't know if you're allowed to keep asking questions of somebody in custody after they ask for a lawyer?
No.
How long have you been employed at Cook County Sheriff's?
27 years.
27 years. I imagine you only became a lieutenant recently?
No.
How?
Sorry about that. It just jump skip on me there.
How long ago did you become a lieutenant?
22 years ago?
You've been a lieutenant for 22 years and you don't know the Miranda rights?
Yes.
What's your rank?
Sergeant.
How long have you been a sergeant?
I have been a sergeant 10 years. It will just be coming up on
How long?
so
Have you,
9.5 years.
how long have you been working for the Cook County Sheriff's Office as a law enforcement officer of some sort in any capacity?
19 years and 10 months.
What are the Miranda rights?
Can someone find me her depo? I looked on the internet. I didn't find it. I'd like to get her whole deposition. Does anybody know where to find this woman's full deposition? Maybe it's on Pink Camera Magic, or that use the woman Amanda.
Our Miranda rights. I don't have. I would have to read them to you from a pre.
Wow, did you hear this? It's like 4 or 5 lines on a card. She doesn't know it.
Sheriff's Office as a law enforcement officer of some sort in any capacity.
19 years and 10 months.
What are the Miranda rights?
Our Miranda rights. I don't have. I would have to read them to you from a pre-written.
Okay. But you never told her, matter-of-factly, that she's going to go to jail for 90 days if she doesn't give you her ID?
I don't recall that, no.
Well, did you or did you not? Or do you not know?
I do not recall that.
Is that something that you would do and say?
No. We're going to probably get in front of the judge.
Okay.
He's going to hold her in contempt for, I think right now he's doing 90 days.
Okay.
So, is that okay with you?
Remain silent.
Okay, but you realize you're going to go to Cook County Jail for 90 days.
Remain silent.
Okay?
Okay.
Now you have an option. All you have to do is show us an ID so that we can do a report, and we'll let you go on your way.
I have an option?
Yeah.
We told you that
Remain
before.
silent.
Because right now you're just obstructing and you're in contempt.
Obstructing what?
You're obstructing us from doing our job.
Remaining silent.
All right, cuff her. Let's get her purse.
Ken.
Get her stuff.
I don't consent to searches.
Well, we don't care anymore. Okay?
So
Wow.
you could believe that these cops have skated by for 50 years, getting multiple promotions without knowing the basic laws that everyone here watching this video already knows, but you'd be wrong. This is why people without low IQs are not allowed to be cops, because even if you were moral, which seems to be a prerequisite to be a cop, the law would check you and put the power back in the hands of the people. Shout out to Pink Camera Magic. I love you, girl. Y'all go over there and check out the full depositions. Link will be in the description as always, and you cats be easy.
So it's over there on Pink Camera Magic. Get over there, subscribe to her page. You know, she's doing good work over there. So we're just scrolling down Bad Cop No Donut on Reddit now, and it's a federal judge has ruled 2 Saginaw police officers violated a civilian's constitutional rights when they entered his home and arrested him. Beyond that, the judge found that the city has failed to adequately train. Oh, they need more training is all. They just need more training on what justifies probable cause. We just watched the depositions where they don't know what reasonable suspicion, probable cause. They don't know what detainment or arrest it is. Oklahoma town has no police department. Well, thank God. Thank God. Maybe they'll be free. ID refusal like a boss. Photography is not a crime. The original OG. Photography is not a crime is the original OG. Cop literally doesn't care about the Constitution. Wow. Looks like this is from Jeff Gray. Honor your oath up here.
Have a good day.
You too. Have a blessed day. Thank you. Morning, man. God bless our homeless veterans.
He's just standing there. He's done
Please pray
nothing.
for our homeless vets.
He's just saying, God bless the homeless veterans.
Pray for our homeless vets. Good morning, gentlemen. God bless our homeless veterans.
Yep, I'm a vet too, man.
All right, cool.
Air Force.
All right.
You got your ID on you?
What for?
Vagrancy.
Vagrancy.
Yes, sir. Got several complaints on here that you're begging for food, money, stuff like that.
That's not true.
Okay, well, I'm just out here for that reason.
Okay.
So, do you have your ID on you?
Am I required to give you ID?
Yes, you are.
What happened if I don't give it to you?
You're going to jail. Period.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Sir, I'm standing on a public sidewalk engaged in constitutional
No matter what,
activity.
you're going to jail.
Right. But I'm letting you know you're going to go to jail, no questions asked.
Even if I'm standing on a public
Yes,
sidewalk?
yes. How many times do I got to explain it to you?
So if I don't give you ID, I'm going to
You're
jail.
going to jail for failure to identify.
Can I just leave?
If you wish to do so, but I need to identify you.
I don't wish to do so. I'd like to stay here. And express my.
You're not going to stay here, period. I'll let you know.
Do I have to leave?
Yes.
Why?
Because I'm instructing you. I'm giving you a lawful order to leave.
And if I don't leave,
You're going to jail
I'll go to jail.
for
And
failure.
you're Officer Sergeant Joffrian.
Sergeant Joffrion,
All
Officer Andrews.
All right. Y'all have a good day.
You got your ID with you?
So if I don't leave, I'll go to jail.
Yep. Give me your ID first.
And if I don't give you ID, I'll go to jail.
Yes.
Even though I've explained to you that I'm engaged in constitutionally protected
I don't
activity,
care if you explain it to me or not.
safeguarded by the First Amendment. It's
Okay.
freedom of speech.
See, I don't know Jeff Gray personally. I've watched his channel for many, many years on your oath civil rights investigations. But the thing is right here, I would file a lawsuit. If number one, he forced me to give ID, I would sue him. I don't know if Jeff Gray sues people or not, but I would just sue his ass. I wouldn't wait a second.
Freedom of religion and freedom of assembly on a traditional public forum. The steps of City Hall.
Correct.
I'm
Yeah.
not begging for
You got
money.
your ID?
I'm not begging for money.
Okay. You got your ID.
Do I need to show you my ID
You need to show me your ID. Yes, sir.
or what?
You're going to jail.
Well, you guys, I tell you, man, I'm gonna put you on notice before I show you my ID and before you do all this.
No, you're going to show me your ID right now.
Okay.
Then you can do whatever you wish after that.
You guys are idiots.
You see, Jeff is he's a nice guy. He's not aggressive. He's a very good man. This guy, I've watched his channel for a number of years. I followed Jeff Gray. I'm a big fan. We're different. He and I are different people. That cop talked to me that way, I'd put him right in his place. It would take a millisecond before I told him to go suck an egg. It would be real quick. Would never let this pig talk to me this way. Never. And if it's going to go physical, then it's going to go physical. But you could do what you want, and I'm going to sue you afterwards. Look at this pig bullying a guy who's one of the nicest guys there is.
That's
All right. Okay. That's your opinion.
No, that's not his opinion.
Before I show
That's not his opinion. That's the Constitution, jackboot thug pig.
you my ID and before you do all this.
No, you're going to show me your ID right now.
Okay.
Then you can do whatever you wish after that.
Oh, talk to me that way. See how that goes for you.
You guys are idiots,
All right.
man.
Okay. That's your opinion.
You guys really are
Central
dumb,
Florida,
dumb as
yeah.
a bag of hammers.
Okay. That's perfectly fine.
Let me get back up here. I'm trying to leave.
George 600-433-700081.
Is my ID going to tell you if I'm committing a crime or not?
433-700081.
What
Doesn't
is-
matter if you commit a crime or not. You have to identify in reference to a complaint because
No, you
you're
don't.
violating.
You need to have reasonable articulable suspicion that a crime is afoot. You
Yeah, I
can't.
do have reasonable suspicion. I just instructed you. So
Vagrancy?
Yeah.
What ordinance is that?
city ordinance. Go
Even
look it
though
up.
I've explained to you that I'm
You
engaged
don't
in
need to-
constitutionally
you
protected.
don't need to explain anything to me because I literally don't care. I'm
Wow.
out here in reference to a complaint
All right.
by the mayor of this city.
By the mayor.
By the mayor of this city.
Okay.
If you have any complaints, you can send me an email, call him later on.
You know, at this point, I'm gonna remain silent because this is obviously you guys.
This isn't some free will state, man. This is how it is in the state of Mississippi.
So you don't have freedom in the state of Mississippi.
If you don't like it, you can go back to Florida. Period.
There's no
All
free.
right, well, let me have my ID and I'll go back to Florida.
I'll give you ID once it comes back.
I don't want to go to jail.
Do you see that? You see why I have my ID on a laminated paper? Because this pig is now holding his property. And for me, the physical being that I am, I would want to beat his ass. That's what I'd want to do. I can't help it. That's how I am. That's how I'm wired. You take my property that belongs to me and you're going to hold it against my will, I would become very contentious at this point.
And you're a veteran.
I'm a veteran. Yes.
What
sir.
did you serve?
Huh?
Where did you serve?
That's none of your business.
All right. Did you take an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution when you served?
I absolutely did.
Yeah, and you're not doing that right now.
Okay, that's your
Did you
opinion.
take an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution when
that
you
is your opinion.
became a cop?
That is your opinion.
And you're not doing it right now.
That's your opinion.
You guys have a supervisor?
I would have sued his ass in 10 seconds.
I'm the supervisor.
I better start recording this.
You can start recording. We've been recording the whole time since we made contact.
But he won't get that body.
I'm not panhandling. I'm just coming out saying God bless the homeless veteran on this public sidewalk at the steps of City Hall. You don't care. I'm going to jail.
I just say you was going to jail.
You never said I was going to jail? Oh boy, I wish I was recording before. You guys said you're recording? Can you get body camera videos in the state of Mississippi through a public record request?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not. You can't get body cam footage in the state of Mississippi is what he said. That's not true. Look at this great big fat pig. I mean, look at this guy.
Good.
I mean, this guy is not an officer. I'm sorry, guys. Listen, I come from a lot of people in my family are really overweight. This guy's supposed to be the best, the finest. You're not supposed to be so out of shape you can't run a quarter of a block to save someone from a burning building.
10-4, that 27 is going to come back to a Marcus Jeffrey, valid, -29, -4.
All right, Mr. Jeffrey, you're free to go.
Free to go? Can I stay?
No, you cannot stay. You got to go.
So if I don't go, I'll go to jail.
Right. You're a lawful order not come back.
I'd sue his ass.
Have a good evening.
I would sue his ass. He would be sued by me, bro. He would be sued by me 100%. Waveland Assistant Police wife charged with simple assault. Oh, you know what we could do right now? Do you know what we could do right now? Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's call. Let's call. Let's call. Let's call the Idaho Police Department. Let's give a call over there. Let's call them. The numbers are, I think I have it in my phone still. Let me just give them a call real fast. Pretty sure I got the Idaho pigs right here in my phone. I'm pretty sure I do. Idaho Hayburn Pigs, Idaho. Let's just give a call here.
You have reached the Hayburn Police Department. If this is an emergency or in-progress crime, please hang up and dial 911 now. To ensure your call is routed correctly, please listen to the following options. To report a crime, reach the on-duty officer, or to access police services, press 1 for dispatch. To request police records or a copy of a police report, press 2. To speak with code enforcement, press 3. To leave a message for the chief of police, press 4. Record your message and press pound, or press star to contact the operator.
Hey, Chief, my name is ChilleDeCastro. I'm giving you a call about your cop. What was his name again? It was Tomander. His name was Riri Tomander. Riri Tomander, he shot some dogs there on the interstate. Just wondering if he's still on duty. If you can give me a call back, that'd be great. I'll call back again and see if I can reach you. Thanks. Let me just put this in here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Riri Tomander. What did Riri Tomander do? If you guys are unfamiliar, he killed 2 dogs on the interstate who had been released. I mean, it's pretty gross. It's pretty gross watching him kill the dogs. So let's call over there again. I just want to get a hold of somebody here. I want to know what Riri's got going. I want to know what happened to Riri Tomander.
You have reached the Hayburn Police Department. If this is an emergency or in-progress crime, please hang up and dial 911 now. To ensure your call is routed correctly, please listen to the following options. To report a crime, reach the on-duty officer, or to access police services, press 1 for dispatch. To request
I guess that's the hold music right there.
Deputy County Sheriff's Office.
Hey, how you doing? I'm trying to get a hold of the chief over there, or the public information officer, to get a statement.
So I'm going to send you over to records. The chief isn't going to be gone, is not going to be here till Monday. Or do you want me to transfer you over to his voicemail?
No, I already left a voicemail. I've called, I don't know, half a dozen times now. I mean, we want people to answer for Riri Tomander killing those dogs. Is he still on the force there? Is he still Piggy over there?
Oh, so that would be City of Hebron that you need to talk to. So let me transfer you over to them, okay?
Okay, thanks a lot. They only do 4-day weeks over there. Hello. 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 Are you there?
Sorry, give me just a second.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, 1 second.
Appreciate that.
Thank you for calling the City of Hebron. Your call is important to us, and for quality assurance purposes, this call may be recorded. For the utility billing department, please press 1. For the building department, please press 2. For all other inquiries, please press 3.
I pressed 3. I pressed 3. Hold on a second.
Hey, friend, this is Davina.
Hi, is it Dalvina, you say? Hello, who's this? I'm sorry, Valdina?
Davina?
How you doing? Nice to meet you, Valdina. Yeah. My name is Chille, and I'm a journalist, and I got right now on the line, there's 250 people or so listening, and we just wanted to get a statement on what if you got that pig Riri Tomander still on the job there, if you haven't suspended him, or if he's going to be brought up on charges for murdering those people's dogs. I mean, this is a national story. I'm calling from Las Vegas, and you guys are in Idaho, so I mean, it's going all around the country that Riri's a real pig. So we just want to know if he's been fired or put on suspension. Is he going to be charged like any of us would be for shooting someone's dogs? You know, he shot the dogs in 6 minutes. 6 minutes, showed up to the scene and said, "Oh, I can't get them," so he just shot them. Can you help me out?
We have press releases on our City of Hebron website. If you
Oh,
want to look at those and ask for more information.
I would love to. Can you tell me that website again?
Yeah. Hebron, HEY
BURN.
.id.gov.
Okay.
And then once you go to the website, there's a tab on there that says press releases, and it has information on there.
So www.hayburn, I put that in the wrong spot, .id.gov. I put that in the wrong place. Sorry about that. Okay, so this is Hayburn. Now, where do I go here? Oh, press releases here. Okay, and then dog shooting. So there's a couple, huh? So I guess, 1527, 161. So, man, a lot of people are mad about the pig killing those dogs, huh? A lot of people are mad. So here's the first one, and this one says, there's dispatch, Minoka, citizens arrived, 2 large dogs. Hayburn police recognizes the distress of this incident. Okay, well, if you recognize the distress, you're going to charge that pig with crimes like you would for me? Ma'am?
It's currently under investigation, and we don't have more information regarding what's going on.
There's plenty of information. All you have to do is just click on the video, ma'am. That's it. Just click on the video, and you can just see that guy just killed those people's dogs. And, a follow-up here's follow-up. So who's this chief? This is Ryan. What kind of pig is this guy? Ryan Bertolato. I mean, is he a good pig? Is he a bad pig? Ma'am? Ma'am?
I don't know.
Have you ever met Chief Ryan Bertolato? You ever met him in person?
I don't work in the police department. This is City Hall.
Thank God you don't work there, huh? Surrounded by pigs. That'd be terrible. Okay, so this says, as a follow-up to the press release, police would like to provide the following updates. A neighboring law enforcement agency will be conducting. Oh, come on! Can I ask you a question? Do you think pigs investigating pigs is going to get anything other than a bigger trough? Seriously. Do you think the pigs from the next county over investigating the pigs in your department are going to have any different outcome if it was the exact same pigs in your department? Pigs are pigs. You understand that, right? Most invasive species on earth is a pig. So what's going to be the difference if you have the pigs from the left or the pigs from the right, investigate the pigs in the center? It's all the same. They're all pigs. So I'm just curious. Can you help me understand that? How's anything going to be different? So the law enforcement agency just next door. So when the pigs get fired there, don't they go get a job at the next agency over? Isn't that what happens across America? Isn't that peace off? I don't know. Well, so according to the Nevada Peace Officer Standards and Training, those pigs can resign and then they can get a job again within 60 months, which is 5 years, at any other pig shack in Nevada. Do you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Like, do you follow that? So how many pigs from your department are now working at the other pig department that's going to investigate your pig department? How many pigs are over there that used to be at your department? Do you know that answer?
I don't.
Okay. Okay. And listen, as long as you're not a pig, I don't got anything against you. So the officer has been placed on administrative leave. Is he on administrative leave with pay? Is he getting paid while he's on administrative leave?
I don't know.
If I murder someone's dogs, my job doesn't suspend me with pay. My job suspends me, probably fires me. Ending the outcome. Our relationship with the community is our top priority. Our commitment to resolving this issue quickly and providing results and conclusions to community with full transparency. How come Ryan can't jump on the phone? I've been calling for almost a week. Plenty of voicemails. I've left. When I'm not on air with 250, 300 people, I leave plenty of voicemails. Plenty. How come Ryan can't call me back? I've left my number, my name. Is he afraid of talking to a journalist? I just want to know. Ma'am? Ma'am?
I'm listening. I don't have answers to your questions.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, let me just remind you of a fun fact, because you sound like a sweet person. 2 out of 5 cops beat their wives and children. So if I was you, I'd stay away from any pig in your culture. Stay away from any pig in your town. They're likely to beat you. You almost a 50% chance that any pig you involve yourself with, he will, honey. So please stay away from the pigs. All right. And I appreciate your time. I hope you have a great day. God bless you and have a great weekend. Okay.
Thank you. You too.
Okay. Bye-bye, honey. All righty. Well, let's just for fun. I left him already 3 voicemails. I can't reach this pig anymore. I can't reach that pig no more. That pig's just gone. So there's the city of Hayburn, Idaho. There's Reary. I got to be gone by 12:30. Yeah. All righty then. Well, listen, folks, I got to get the flock out of here. I really got to go. I've been here for too long, but I wanted to have this talk with y'all and talk about what we were doing. So do me a favor, make sure you like, subscribe, and share the video. Go over to the Delete Laws online store and pick yourself up a trifold or an indestructible trifold. And thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I really appreciate it, man. I really appreciate you guys coming. Cope Doggy Dog, Groundhog is here. King Charles, Mikey, what's going on, Mikey? Robert, you have rights, cops have duties. What's going on? Wire Paladin, San Francisco, what is going on? Snake Finger, what are you doing in here? What's this troll doing in here? I thought maybe it's I don't know, whatever. Anyway, Michael Poe is here. Good to see you, Michael. Complying Borg, nice to see you. Alan Hub, Robert Kaiser is in here. Luis Bears Guzman, nice to see you, Luis. PC Tree, good to see you. Cope Dog and Dog, Jeff hates pigs. Cope Dog and Dog, Random Country, Phoenix Murder District, always good to see you. Delete Laws Clips, rolling with the homies. Good to see you, John. Nice to see everybody. Brandon, Thank you, Popcorn, for coming. I appreciate it. The Reindeer, God bless you, man. Appreciate you coming, or her. Sorry about that. Stranger is in here today. A stranger. Tom Shaw showed up. What's up, Tom? I love Yahweh. Nice to see you. Brian. Nice to see you, Brian. I'm glad you're here, man. I haven't seen you in a minute. Brandon is in here. Your confidence is poquito. Your confidence is poquito. All right. I will get the flock out of here. Thanks for coming. I'll see you guys on the next one. Later, Gators.